Hello, welcome to Zines and Roger. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to crochet this granny triangle. And the reason why is because I've recently made a jumper that has loads of granny squares. It also has some triangles that finish off the piece around the bottom of the jumper at the neck and cuffs too. And so if you want to do the same kind of thing, this is the tutorial you need. So for my jumper and for this tutorial, it's a 4mm hook and double knit wool. I'm using, I think I'm using merino. Yeah, some nice cozy merino. But you can use anything you like, doesn't matter. So what we do is start in the middle and then work the subsequent rounds, rows. I don't when it's only half, is it a round or is it rows? Never know what to say. I think it's rows. So we're going to work the centre first. So get a slip knot on your hook. There's the slip knot. It's on the hook. And then chain 5. Join to the first stitch, first chain, with the slip stitch. Then you've got yourself a little circle. For ease, I'm just going to start my rounds, my rows with chains. I'm going to chain 4. Then I'm going to work what is called a petal. So yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, back into the circle, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 3. And I've used this before. I've used this in a granny square tutorial that I have, which, I mean, surprise, surprise, I used in the jumper. So this is the matchy triangle that goes with it. I will put a link in for that as well. So first petal made, chain, I've just chained 2 as well, then work a second petal. So yarn over, insert the hook into the circle, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go back into the circle, yarn over, pull through. I've got 4 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 3, chain 2. So we're going to have 4 petals for this triangle. Chain 2. Have I done 4 already? Yes. So this is my starting chain here. 1, 2, 3, 4 petals. I think actually I'm just going to chain 1 at the end, and then I will work 1 USDC stitch and then fasten off. A USDC stitch is a UK treble. What colour shall I use next? Let's go for yellow. Before I do, I'm just going to fasten off. I mean, you can always change colour on the last row and turn, but on the jumper that I made, all my rows faced the same way. Personal preference only, really. So, as again, you'll have seen in my tutorials before, yarn round the hook however many times. Sometimes it feels random. Usually it's a minimum of 3. Wrap the yarn around your hook a minimum of 3 times. Weirdly, I've done 5, and I think it matters not, because that was my wrist clicking. I can let go of all the ones, the other wraparound, so it doesn't matter how many, but obviously I feel more secure with 5 there. Blah, blah, blah. Ramble, chain 1. So that's my standing start, if you want to know what it's called, where you wrap the yarn around the hook. You'll have seen me use that in other videos. and explain it more clearly in other videos, so that's why I'm being a bit blasé today. In the same space, work a cluster. So you've got a granny cluster, because this is a granny triangle after all. The only places on this round where I'm going to add chains is at the beginning and at the end. I don't bother adding chains between clusters for the most part, not unless I want a super drapey end result. Okay, so I've put a cluster in that first chain space, and I've put a cluster in the next 2 chain space. This is the center, so I'm going to do a cluster, chain 2 and a cluster. I'm in the last bit, the last chain space, so it's a cluster, chain 1, and then finish it off with a stitch all by itself. So it looks like that. So you can see it's already starting to look triangular. Snip that yarn and fasten off. And again, because I'm working all of my rows the same way, I join here, and I'm just going to go into that chain space to work my standing start and chaining 1. Granny cluster in the next. Granny cluster here, and then repeat for the corner with 2 clusters and 2 chains in between. My wrists are very clicky today. 1, 2. And that's all there is to it, and you will just repeat this row for every subsequent colour change. But for my jumper, every triangle I worked had 4 rounds of all the colours, and then for the final 5th round, where I joined as you go, they're all done in brown, but all my triangles were prepped in advance with the 4 rounds. Chain 1, so on the last one, finish off with that final solo stitch. I've lost my scissors, there they are. And so a final round would make it 4, and then what you would do is just make as many as you want, sew on your ends, and then use them in a project.